Hey guys, it's haTillah, and this is my very first commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about today is how to be a solid player. The very first thing you need to do is have a good DMR and a good snipe. And you want to be able to know how good it is, and you want to make sure it's consistent. So if you know you're a 6-shot DMR, then make sure that when you enter that room, you can at least pull off a 6-shot DMR, and if you're lucky, you get that 5. Because knowing whether you can win a situation or you lose a situation is a huge difference between losing and winning, because when you know you're going to lose that situation, you'll know that, hey, I should, instead of charging from down low to out DMR this guy, I'm going to put it in my favor and run around this way and go here, but not wasting too much time, assist my teammate and get the kill, and move on to whatever our slaying is or the objective at hand. Next thing I need to tell you guys about is consistency. Consistency is pretty important. Well, it's extremely important because you don't want to be just getting a few games where you're doing really good versus a lot of games you might not be doing very good in. You want to be able to make sure it's at an even level in which you're making a lot of good plays often, and you're thinking about them and knowing and being completely aware that you're doing them without it being a matter of chance. As soon as you can consistently keep doing these things, eventually you'll be able to juggle more things on your mind, such as getting 2 down, pressing the back button, seeing that there really is 2 down, or hey, there's 3 down, knowing to pull that flag, and that, hey, I got help here, there. That doesn't come the first day you play this game. It comes from a lot of practice and being able to pull off basic good plays well and consistently, so that your mind is freed up and you're able to think of those hard things, such as what I said earlier about knowing your teammates' positioning and knowing whether to really pull that flag or not, or also even keeping track of weapon times when you don't have a coach, or how to just reposition yourself better in case his teammate has someone else trying to get an avenge. So, the next thing is how to get quality practice. The best way to get quality practice is to play with your team against decent players. For 4 games, it's a whole lot better than playing big team battle by yourself for 2 days straight. It's a whole lot better doing that because it's practical and you're playing better players in a practical gaming environment, I suppose. MLG, because if you want that event win, you're gonna have to play the game type itself. You're not gonna win by playing big team battle. And I'm just gonna top that off with a quote, or more like a paraphrase of Elamite Warrior. He says that quality practice is a whole lot better than a lot of bad practice. Just as I said, 2 days of big team battle will not be better than playing 8 games with your team against decent players. Alright, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is all the roles in Halo. And don't be caught up in labeling yourself and limiting yourself to those roles. I'm just going to briefly explain what these roles are. There's so much more to them. To be very basic, a main slayer is a guy who really keeps track of the weapons. He obtains them, power weapons such as the snipe and the rockets, make sure he has those, and he keeps them away from the enemy while also using it somewhat effectively, hopefully very effectively, against them. But his primary job is to be very aware of his enemy than of his own teammates. Of course, this isn't a team situation. If you were to be a main slayer with randoms, you want to be equally aware of both. That's why in a team setting, when you're a main slayer and you can just primarily focus on the enemy, you know that your guys are going to back you up already. You already know that, unless they're going to call it out to you that, hey, you're alone. You got to be a little bit more focused on your surroundings now. Now we're going to move on to the support player. His primary role in a team and playing with randoms is that he is more aware of his teammates than he is of the enemy. It's just a very brief description, and a lot of you might have a debate against whether the main slayer is this and that, this and that. It's very just basic stuff, and I'm sure it all changes in time. But very basically, a support player is aware of his teammates more than he is the enemy, so he knows who to support and who not to support, because he won't need to support a player with rockets. He just needs to be close enough to pick it up in case his rocket player commits suicide. The next one is objective. It's very, very difficult, and objective plays a lot with the support player because if the support player dies or the objective dies, the support player is going to pick up over the objective player. And the objective player really keeps his thoughts on the objective. His mind primarily is going to be on how many people are up, what weapons do my teammates have, what do they not have versus what the enemy has, and whether it's really in my best interest to pull this flag because we have rockets and they do not, or we have 4 and they have 3 players. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this. I know a lot of this has a lot of descriptions and there's a whole lot more debate for what is and who is and how is, whatever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.